Okay, so like I said earlier, we're going to start adding details to this drawing. We're going to add windows, doors, a sidewalk, things that are going to make this look more like a street that you would see walking downtown Mount Airy. Okay, so this actually stopped recording on me. I had to start over. We're going to start with a door. You can choose which building you want to draw your door on. I'm just going to draw it on this one because it's my largest building. Alright, we're going to draw a door just somewhere random on this building. So I picked a point where I want to put my door, and I'm going to draw a line up, however tall I think my door would actually be. If you want this to be some type of garage door or the big doors you see at Walmart or something like that, it may be a little bit higher. I'm going to try to make it just appear like a normal door like you see in our classroom. Okay, so I drew my line up. I am then going to draw a line from the top of this to the vanishing point. So if it helps you, the dots, you can put a dot there, and you're going to connect your 2 points. Now, you can continue this line all the way to the vanishing point as long as you're drawing lightly, but just to save you some erasing, you just stop it however wide you want that door to be. A common mistake is people will get their vanishing points mixed up. So when they're trying to draw this line, they'll come over here to this vanishing point and draw the line like that. That's not how it's supposed to be. Anything on this side of your building is going to go to this vanishing point, and on the left side of your building is going to go to the left vanishing point. Same on this. If I was going to draw a door right here on this side of the building, it needs to go over here, and anything on this side needs to go over here. Alright, so for the other half of this door, you're just going to draw a line down. I'm lining my triangle up at the top of my page, and I'm going to draw a line down. Now if you drew yours and the door just doesn't look right, so say it's a little too wide, which I think mine is, you can just erase. Again, you should be drawing lightly and draw your line down again. So I just slid my door out a little bit. Alright, so you can draw your door handle on whichever side you want. And now that looks like a pretty typical door, but it's really bland and plain. Things that are going to make your drawing really look realistic is adding detail. So just quickly, I'm going to add a border around my door. So if you look at the doors in our classroom right now, or at home when you get home, most all doors have some type of trim around them. Ours is gray in our room, but that's what I'm drawing right here. All I did was line my triangle up right along that line, but a little bit over, and drew a border. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And then I'm going to draw from the top to the vanishing point down. Okay. Now we're going to draw some windows up here. Well, actually, I think I'm going to draw them right here on this side so we have more room. But a window is basically the exact same thing as a door, except for you have to draw the bottom in. Here you already had the bottom of the door drawn because it was also the bottom of the building. So what I'm going to do is decide where I want that bottom line of windows to go. And I'm going to draw that line. I'm going to draw it pretty large. I'm going to draw a pretty large window so I can show you how to make multiples. So I found where I wanted the bottom of my window to go. Now I have to find where I want the top of my window to go. And I drew that in. Alright, here's another common mistake that people make. They'll draw these two lines, and then they'll go in here and just connect those. I'll do it lightly for you. And what that does is it creates a line that's not going to the vanishing point and that is not straight up down. That line cannot exist. See how it looks funny compared to here? It's because it's not going straight up and down. You never want to just connect two lines like that. Instead, you need to use your triangle, just like before. So you use your triangle, because you just randomly picked where these lines would stop. And then draw your line down. And then you may have a little bit extra, but that's okay, you just erase it. So that's how you get the side of your window. I'm going to do the same thing for the other side of your window. Alright, so I'll show you how to color this later to make it look even more realistic, but for right now, that's all we're going to do. If you wanted this to be a sign or something rather than a window, all you would need to do is go in here and write Joe's Pet Shop or whatever you wanted to put in that sign. But, okay, so we drew one large window. I'm now going to show you how to break this window down into two smaller windows if you wanted to. This is the best way if you're drawing one large building with a lot of windows, something that you would see in a city. This is the best way to do the windows. It's a lot quicker and it looks a lot better. So what we're going to do right now is find the middle of that window. Some of you may think you just measure this and divide it in half, but that's not how it works in perspective drawing. Everything's getting smaller in perspective drawing, so this half is going to be smaller than that half. Just like this side of the building is smaller than this side of the building. Okay, so to do that, to find the halfway point, you're going to draw an X. And this may seem confusing, so you might want to watch it one time and then replay it as you follow along. But I'm going to draw a really light X. You're going to have to erase this X from one corner of the building to the other. If it helps you, you can go on this building and put a dot in each corner and then just connect the dots. Okay, so I drew one line, and I'm going to draw the other line. Where those two lines meet, so let me zoom in here. Where those two lines meet is the middle of your window. So if you notice, this side is quite a bit larger than that side, but that's how it's supposed to be. Alright, now what you're going to do is divide this in half. You're going to make a line to the right of that dot, so not directly through the dot, but just a little to the right, and then just a little bit to the left of it. And why you went a little bit to the right and a little bit to the left is so that there's a space in between these windows. And then you can erase. So then you have two windows rather than just one. Okay, I'm going to quickly show you how to break this down into 4 windows. It's going to be just a review of what we just did right there. So for people who like doing the dots, I'm going to draw a dot in every corner. You don't have to do the dots if you don't want to. And then I'm going to use a straight edge, either my ruler or my triangle. Make a light line from corner to corner. I'm going to do it on both windows because I'm trying to make 4. Okay, I'm going to do a dot. That's halfway where those X's meet. And then to the right of the dot, to the left of the dot, and then to the right of the dot, I'm going to make a line. And do the same thing over here. From the right of the line and left of the line. And then I'm going to erase. And if you erase your line, you can just refill it back in. And then now I have 4 windows. This one, if you can tell, is quite a bit smaller than this one, but again, it's getting smaller as it vanishes into the distance. So if you were trying to do a city, you could do rows of these on a building. It seems like it takes a long time, but you'll get faster and faster as you go along with it. It's actually faster to do this correctly than it is to try to freehand it by yourself and not use a ruler or not use the vanishing point. When you get used to it, you should be able to just draw it in pretty quickly. Okay, so we did windows and we've done a door. And now I'm going to show you how to do the sidewalk. For the sidewalk, this depends greatly on how much room you left down here at the bottom. So hopefully your drawing, you didn't continue this building all the way down here where you don't have any room. But I'm going to show you, and if you don't have room, then you can go back and redo this and do another example where you have some room to do a sidewalk. Or you may not even want a sidewalk on yours, and if so, still watch the video, try to follow along, just so you know how to do it. Okay, so we're going to go from the vanishing point, and I'm going down. I'm just eyeing how much sidewalk I would want there. It could be a larger one or a smaller one. If you notice in this example, her sidewalk is right there, so she just went down that way. This is the line that we're making right now, that line right there. Alright, so we're going to go from the vanishing point down past the building a little ways. I'm trying to stop pretty much directly over that line right there. That's where I stopped my line. And then if you need to do the dot, you can put a dot there. Then from this vanishing point down. Alright, so there's the start of my sidewalk. It doesn't look like much right now, and I'm going to show you how you can make it look more three-dimensional. So all sidewalks, if you'll notice the next time you're walking on one, they have a step down before you get to the next surface. So you're going to go from that point right there. Let me zoom in so you can see what I'm doing. You're going to go from that point down about a centimeter. Alright, and then from the end of that line to the vanishing points, you're going to draw the bottom of that little step. Alright, so some of you may see it right away, but others may not. But when you color this in, this would be like a light gray, and this would be a little bit darker. And that would make the step down right there. Alright, we only have about 3 more minutes, so real quickly I'm going to show you, well, we'll save that for the next time. I was going to show you how to do a road, but we'll do that next time. I'll show you how to do the lines on the road, and I'll also show you how to do some wall covering, some bricks and some rock, and possibly even wood if we have time. But practice this, and for the next session we will come back and do the wall coverings.